In this video, we are going to talk about the other four logic gates that we have. First of all, we'll start with the NAND gate. How NAND gate works is if you have an AND gate, and then if you attach it with a NOT gate, that's how actually NAND gates work. So let's say, let's draw the diagram first, the complex diagram first. So we have two inputs, okay, and they are passed through an AND gate, and then the output is passed through a NOT gate, okay. So this is what actually happens inside an AND gate. So let's say we have A and let's say we have B, okay. The output of AND gate will be A dot B, okay. You can watch the video I have given in the description, and then you can understand this. Okay, so A dot B. Once you are passing through the NOT gate, what happens is the output will be reduced into A dot B whole thing bar. Okay, the inverse of A dot B. Okay, so do we have a single diagram? Okay, circuit diagram for NAND gate? Yes, we do. It looks like this. We have two inputs. There is this NAND gate symbol. Okay, this is the NAND gate symbol. So we have A, we have B. The output will be A dot B whole thing to the bar. Okay, so whole thing bar. So this will be the output. So what about the truth table? Since we have two inputs, how many combinations do we have? Four combinations. Very good. So let's try this. So let's say here we have A, here we have B, and this is the output. So this is A, this is B, and let's first of all draw A dot B. What happens inside the AND gate, and then we'll talk about A dot B whole thing bar. Okay, so let's extend the truth table. So here we have A dot B whole thing bar. Okay, so we start with B 0 1 0 1. A is 0 0 1 1. A dot B will be 0 0 0 1. So since we are finding the inverse of A dot B, since A dot B is 0 here, the output will be 1. Here we have 0, so the output will be 1. Here we have 0, so the output will be 1. Here we have 1, so the output will be 0. Okay, so this is how NAND gate works. Okay, this is how NAND gates work. Now we will talk about NOR gate. Okay, NOR gate is exactly like NAND gate, but instead of AND gate, we have OR gate. So what is the complex circuit diagram? So we have two inputs. They are passed through a single OR gate, and then the output is then passed through a NOT gate. Okay, so we have A, we have B. So the output will be A plus B, and the output of this after passing through NOT gate will be A plus B whole thing bar. Okay, do we have a single circuit diagram for a NOR gate? Yes, we do. So it looks like this. So we have two inputs. There is the NOR gate. Okay, there is the NOR gate. Okay, so if you put a circle in front of OR gate, that is NOR gate symbol. So A, B, the output will be A plus B whole thing bar. Okay, so let's look at the truth table. Since we have two inputs, we have four combinations. Okay, so we'll draw them, and then we have A, we have B, we have A plus B, and then we have A plus B whole thing bar. A, B, A plus B, A plus B whole thing bar. So B is 0 1 0 1, A is 0 0 1 1. So A plus B will be 0 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So what will be the inverse of A plus B? Well, since this is 0, this will be 1. The other three will be 0 0 and 0. Okay, so this is the idea behind NOR gate. Okay, so why do we need to learn all these things? Well, when we are creating complex outputs, when we have to create complex outputs, you have to know these basic things, or else you will find them very difficult. Okay, they will look nearly impossible. So if you want to avoid that, please make sure to study this very clearly. Keep it thorough. Okay, now let's talk about XOR gates. Okay, XOR gate. So how does XOR gate work? Okay, well, we don't have to study about that now. For now, we have to know there is something called sorry, XOR gate, and it behaves different from other gates. Okay, so let's talk about XOR gate first. Okay, XOR gate has a graphical representation. It looks like this. Okay, so you have to put a curve in front of the OR gate. Okay, so this is how XOR gate looks like. Okay, you have A, you have B. The output is given as like this. Okay, X A XOR B. Okay, so we have a plus and then we are covering it with a circle. Okay, so this is the symbol for XOR. Okay, so let's look at the truth table. As we know, since we have two inputs, okay, yeah, XOR gate takes two inputs. There are four combinations of inputs. Okay, so let's draw that first. So we have A, we have B, and then we have A XOR B. So A, B, and then A XOR B. Okay, A XOR B. Well, let's start with the combination 0101 0011. How does A XOR B work? Well, if both the inputs are same, the output will be 0. If one of the input is different from the other input, the output will be 1. That's the idea. Listen to me carefully. If both the inputs are same, okay, the output will be 0. See, if the inputs are 0 and 0, output will be 0. If the inputs are 1 and 1, the output will be 0. Okay, now what was the other thing? Even if 1 is different, okay, if A is 0 and B is 1, the output will be 1. If A is 1 and B is 0, the output will be 1. This is how XOR gate works. Okay, this is how XOR gate works. Okay, this is how XOR gate works. All right, yes. Now we have to talk about XNOR gate. Okay, we have to talk about XNOR gate. XNOR gate has a complex circuit. Okay, well, it also has a complex circuit. It's like, you know, NAND and NOR. Okay, you have to put a NOT in front of XOR. That's all. So let me draw that. So we have two inputs. There is a XOR gate. Okay, there is our XOR gate, and then it is passed through a NOT gate. Okay, it is passed through a NOT gate. That's it. Okay, so the output is A. Here we have B. The output here will be A XOR B. So the output will be A XOR B whole thing bar. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, this is what we have. Does it have a single representation? Yes, it does. We have two inputs. There is our XOR gate. Okay, and put a small circle in front of it and it becomes XNOR gate. So here we have A, here we have B. The output will be A XOR B whole thing bar. Okay, that's it. So let's look at the truth table. Okay, since we have two inputs, we have four combinations. Okay, which means the truth table has 4 rows. Okay, so A, B, A XOR B, A XOR B whole thing bar. A, B, A XOR B, A XOR B whole thing bar. So we have the combinations 0101 0011. So A XOR B, what will be the output? Well, I told you, right? If both inputs are same, the output is 0. 00 means 0, 11 means 0. If one of either outputs is different, the output will be 1. 0 and 1, 1. 1 and 0, output will be 1. Since we are going for the inverse, it will be 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay, you can either think of it like this. Okay, it is the inverse of XOR, or you can think like this. Okay, how can you think? If both inputs are same, okay, if both inputs are same, the output is 1. Okay, both inputs are same, the output is 1. If they are different from each other, the output is 0. Okay, you can think in both ways. That's your wish. Okay. What I prefer is actually the second method. Okay. What I prefer in these stages, when you're learning something new, you have to be able to visualize these things. That's very important. Okay. So this is what I wanted to cover in this video. Okay. What are we going to do in next video? We are going to do a lot of questions. Okay. We are going to do a lot of questions. How you can come up with the output, how you can draw complex diagrams, etc., etc. Okay, we are going to do a lot of questions, and stay tuned. Thanks for watching the second video in our logic gate series. If you found this deep dive into advanced logic gates, NAND, NOR, XOR and XNOR helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more lessons. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos, check out the full playlist to master logic gates, and follow us on Instagram. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning and stay curious. Bye-bye.